Hello everyone, this is Spandana and heartily welcome you to Picasso Award ceremony organized by Brainfeed Magazine. So, let me tell you all, the Brainfeed Magazine is one of the pioneers in the field of entire education sector from kindergarten to post graduation. It has conducted many national, international conferences and school awards. Brainfeed is proud to share you all that with 6 magazines, 1 lakh plus monthly circulation, and 500 plus webinars, we are happy to reach the who can know corner of the students. So, the Picasso Art Contest on the theme of brushing of the crisis was held a few months back in May during the nationwide lockdown. We started off this contest to beat the COVID-19 blues and to put a big smile on our young Picassos. We are glad to announce that with 5,000 plus entries, it has been a very huge success for the entire Brainfeed team. Thanks to all the young Picassos who sent us their artworks, putting their heart and soul into it. Although we had declared the results in June, the award ceremony was a bit delayed. So here we are to congratulate the young Picassos on their hard work and dedication. A big round of applause to all our Picasso winners present here with us. So before proceeding to the awards distribution, I would like to welcome our guest speakers present among us. So I take the pleasure in welcoming Dr. Ashok K. Pandey, Director at Alkan Group of Schools, New Delhi. Dr. Swati Papat-Watts, President of Podar Education Network, Early Childhood Association India, and Association for Primary Education and Research. Ms. Anjali Razan, Director Academics at Solan Public School, Hyderabad. Ms. Aarti Saur, CEO of Parisar Asha, Mumbai. Sri Chandrasekhar Roja, Consultant at Kokyo Camlin, Mumbai. Lakshmi Annapurna Chintaluri, Academic Director at Jai Hind Public School and Curious Kids, Hyderabad. Sri Prakash Nair, Principal at Nanda Central City, Tamil Nadu. Dr. Preeti Shrimal, Principal at Billabong High International School, Gujarat. Mr. Mallikarjun Rao, Director at National Handwriting Academy, Hyderabad. Welcome aboard, sir. Now I take the pleasure in welcoming all our young Picasso winners. Sriram Vijayanush from VGS National Public School, Bangalore. Ananya Rana from Ramachandra Public School.
Thank you, ma'am.
Prachi from Satyabharati School, Haryana. Atla Freza from Alkan International School, New Delhi. KVS Divyashree from BGS National Public School, Bangalore. And Arhan from Sunbeam School, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. Thank you, everyone. So now I request Swati ma'am to share her thoughts about value of painting as a learning activity among young students.
Namaskar, and I am so honored to be invited here as one of the speakers. I think today's day belongs to these 7 young art lovers who have got their prizes today. And I'm also honored to share this space with so many people from around the country, leaders in education, principals who are all doing great work. I would like to congratulate everybody here, the educators for being the Corona warriors and keeping the flag of education flying. And to these young children, the 7 young children are like the 7 colors of the rainbow. And they have got immersed in art during these quite new normal times. And if you see Facebook these days, a lot of adults are also dabbling in art activities. Why are they doing that? People who never used to even touch a crayon or a pencil or a paintbrush are now dabbling in art, because art is very therapeutic. Art helps you give wings to your creative expression, to your imagination. And art, when left unrestricted, is extremely good for both the mind, body, and soul. It is very, very important to understand that children take to art much more naturally than adults do, because adults focus on the goal of the art activity, whereas children focus on the enjoyment in the art activity. And that is something that we as adults must always keep alive in children. Let's not restrict art to marks and grades, etc. Let's restrict art to expression, to creative expression. Let's applaud children who take interest in art. Let's applaud children who give their own creative, unique creative expression to their art activities. I think for me, creative art and expression is a terminology that goes together, because art gives your expression to your thoughts, to your ideas. Sometimes you just want to dabble on the piece of paper, even when you are bored. Have you noticed how we start doodling the minute we are bored of a lecture? So I hope people are not doodling right now while I'm talking. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. After all, it is Navratri and we Indians have a sweet tooth. So I must keep things short and sweet, and congratulate all these young students for not only taking part in a competition, but for taking part in an art competition and giving wings to their creative expression. So congratulations, children, and thank you, Brainfeed, for holding such a wonderful competition and for inviting me.
Thank you so much, man. That was a very fabulous and impressive message to all the art lovers. And now I request Anjali ma'am to share her thoughts on how a learner can develop new skills from art that would help them in higher studies.
Yeah, thank you, Spandana. Basically, again, I begin with congratulating the winners, the ones who have gotten slight edge over the others. I call them as winners because everybody is a winner who ever participated. So, congratulations to all your tiny children, bigger children, for coming this far and being recognized today. And congratulations, the Brain Feed Academy, for actually providing a platform, to showcase their talent. It's not easy. It is nice to go and paint and put up, but to showcase it is another thing altogether. And Brainfeed has always been doing that, showcasing so many things. Art is one of them. So congratulations to all. It's a wonderful feeling to be a winner. Art, I think Swati ma'am has said it so much. I don't know what else to say about art because, well, all I can say is art, traces back to almost 30,000 years ago. Maybe this is for the winner children to just know what exactly where you stand in art. 30,000 years back, there were paintings found on the caves. And these paintings, communicated something. They were not for entertainment. We are using it now for entertainment, but then there were communication in many, many years back where you find so much form of art in Ajanta, Ellora, those caves and stuff like that, 30,000 years ago. So this is a skill. Basically, it's a sadhana. It's not just a skill. It's a sadhana which is developed and which can be developed in the kids when they're smaller, because then it grows on them. Apart from the fact that art is a wonderful creative medium, there is nothing to beat art in terms of creativity. It is highest on the creativity. No history, geography, science, math can teach us creativity as much as art can. Why? Because it has got a lot of things. It is an observation. Only when you observe things, when you have that keen sense of observation, and it's not that you have, everybody has it. It's just that how you discover that keen sense. A small plant on a road here, anybody can draw it, but the one who has that keen sense draws all its nuances of the leaves and the stem and the roots and stuff like that. So the observation is the biggest sense and the skill that art provides. Apart from that's a creative instinct which comes out from there. Self-expression. I mean, you can express through language. It's also a big art to speak. You're speaking in front of people where ideas have to flow out. That's an art. I would go to the extent of saying cooking in the kitchen is an art. Serving anything cooked well or not so well, but serving and showcasing it, presenting it in a most formidable way is also an art. Art has got a lot of dimensions, and as rightly said by Ma'am Popat is that art is showcasing of today's things. Earlier, it was not necessarily showcasing, but a small gift presented in a beautiful way is an art. So art has a lot of dimensions. Most importantly, springing out of creativity. And creativity, many people say, "Oh, I'm not creative. I think you're an artist." But let me tell you, the children, that creativity is in everybody. It's in everybody. It's just that we are not able to scratch it off and come out of ourselves. Art is discipline. Art is sadhana. Art is perseverance. Go on and on and on and on. and art is collaborating together. Art is risk taking. Art is, critical thinking. Art has so many dimensions to it, which today's you all children, you have got it. I just end up by the one little story, and I want you all to listen to that. Art is a hidden talent. Art is a beautiful talent which is present in all of us, only that we don't know where it is. There was this one story, and this is the appropriate time because it's Navratri time. So I would like you all, the children particularly, to listen to this, parents as well. There were the three gods in Hindu mythology. There was Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, and they were having a meeting. In today's time, they might be having a webinar also, we never know. So they were having a meeting together. And why they were having a meeting is because they discovered that human beings, it's many, many, many thousands of years ago, that humans, they became almost demigods because they became so powerful by their power and their talent and all, that they started becoming arrogant and rude and everything negative. So the gods got very disturbed by that. They said they're humans have got so much of power in them, but then they are very arrogant. So, and soon if they go at this rate, they might even shake us all gods. So what do we do? So let's meet together. So they met together, and then they decided and called other gods as well. And they said, okay, let's think of a way that we will take this power out from these humans, this power of creativity that they have and imagination and all the talent. Let's take it out and hide it somewhere so that these humans are not as powerful as they think to be. So what happens is they told all the gods, come on, you give an idea, you give an idea. So various gods are giving an idea. So the first god got up and said, okay, I have a brilliant idea. They said, what? Where we're going to hide it? We're going to take that power and hide it, where? We're going to hide it on the top of the Himalayas, the highest peak there. They will never reach there, you see. And then Brahmaji is the oldest god. He says, oh God, you don't know. Once upon a time, I can foresee these people climbing on the Himalayas. Tenzing and Norway will climb one day, you never know. Then when they climb up there on the Mount Everest, they will discover that. So no, bad idea. So the second god got up and they said, okay, I got another brilliant idea. What we'll do is we'll put it under the ocean. Just dig it down there. They will never be able to get it. So again Brahmaji thought and says, you're joking. You never heard of, you're going to hear very soon something called oil exploration. They're going to dig in the sea also, and they're going to explore oil over there. And that's the end of it. When they explore oil, they will explore even the creative. Then they said, no, what exactly to do? We cannot do it. We cannot put it in the air as well. Where do we hide it? Then Brahmaji asked all of gods. They couldn't get an answer. So Brahmaji said, okay, I have an idea. I have a brilliant idea, which I think you'll be able to understand. They said, what? So we said, what we're going to do is take this creative treasure, and listen carefully, everybody. We're going to take it and put it inside the man. We're going to take this creativity, hide it inside him or her. And let me tell you, humans, you know how they are. They're very foolish. They look around, but they don't look within themselves. So when they don't look within themselves, they will never find that creative power. Oh, there was a wonderful applause. Everybody clapped. And from that day, the gods put this power, this creativity inside the humans and say, okay, go and discover now. Now, there are few humans which go inside their own self and say, oh, I have this, of course. Why don't I exercise it? And then they are there, they get whatever they want. But there are other humans who says, where is it? I find it in everybody, but not in myself. So a small story with a big moral. It is within you. Your talent is in yourself. Please discover it and explore it, and you're going to get it. Thank you very much for calling me and just putting me on. I hope the story was not too long. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really a great story. Thank you a lot. And now I request Aarti ma'am to share her thoughts that how do you connect hope and art at times like this?
So first of all, thank you so much, Spandana, for inviting me over here, and heartiest congratulations to all the winners and all the participants, and great initiative by BrainFit. And I know, Spandana, why you must have given me this question, right? Connecting hope and art in this time, because you can see the name of my organization is Parisar Asha. Asha is hope, and my name is Aarti. So Aarti. So there is art anyways connected with hope. So anyway, jokes apart. And when we talk about this today's time, but I think, time was never, predicted. We always have ups and downs in our lives. So today is Corona, kal kuch or Rona, so there is going to be always ups and downs. So when we are in trouble, what do we do? Where do we go for the hope? when we think of the hope, so who's the biggest hope giver? So especially I want to ask the children who have joined over here. So do you pray before the exam? And whom do we pray? So when we pray to God, so when we, in fact, I was learning, I mean, when I was doing my master's in fine arts, so that time I learned, and especially now after listening to Anjali ma'am's story also, when she was talking about Brahma and, like talking about all the mythology, all our gods, kids, these gods are actually imagination of an artist. So I was really thrilled, like the hope is directly connected with the god and it is with the art. So imagine the power of art, like the art has superpower. And in fact, this entire event is also called as Picasso. So I would like to read out one quote by Picasso. Picasso said, God is really another artist. He invented the giraffe, the elephant, and the cat. He has no real style. He just goes on trying other things. And this world is designed so beautifully by him, right? And we being an artist, if you see even everything, whatever the humans they have designed, can you see everything, each and everything, there is a design element. The laptop, what you see, the pen to paper to bed to everything, you will find art everywhere. And as we said, the creator, God has been really, really wonderful artist. So it's a humble request to all the artists, these budding artists, whichever professions you take tomorrow in your life, don't ever, give up your art, because you can still continue like a hobby. Because I can tell you, as Swati ma'am and Anjali ma'am was saying, this art has so much of potential that it gives you creativity, innovation, and that is the key of sustaining in 21st century, So whatever challenges your life may face, you may face in your life, but if you perceive art, it can be any format art, it should not be only like visual arts, it can be any performing art, or as ma'am was saying, there are different types of art. So get involved, get engaged, be creative, so that what will happen, you will, whenever you will face any problems in life, because life will not be, like without any problems, so you will have that hope, you will have that courage to face that problem. And it's not that only you will have that hope, you can be the hope for humanity, because you will be innovative, you will be creative. So I don't want to take much of your time, but I would like to also talk about one more quote of Picasso, because Picasso said, every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. So please, when you grow up, remain an artist, the way, beautiful artists, the beautiful artwork, what you have done, and all the participants. And in fact, BrainFit, it's a humble request. You can keep on encouraging art and all the educators who are over here, because art has tremendous potential. And let it be any worst situation in your life, but you will always have that hope that you are the creator. So keep creating, stay blessed, and don't ever lose your hope. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So now, Chandrasekhar sir, in your experience, what kind of difficulties student might face if they're completely devoid of art and extracurricular?
Good afternoon, friends, dear educators. I'm very happy that I'm with you, all of you, and I'm enjoying this beautiful evening with the children and educators from all over the world. I have spent 35 years in the ecosystem of art and education, and I have enjoyed every bit of it. Spandana has put up a beautiful question to me, but what I find is that this question is with some negative connotation. So I have tried to make it a little positive. And how I'm saying is how art helps. So Spandana, can we have the presentation on the screen, please?
Yes, sir.
So my title is How Art Helps in Learning and Growth of a Child. So let us try to find this positive idea. Okay, generally parents feel that when children do art, they spoil everything around. They spoil their clothes, they spoil walls, they spoil paper, they spoil everything, and it doesn't have any creative value. The second problem they have is that art is a recreational thing, and it doesn't have a developmental value at all. It is just a recreation. It is like watching a movie. The third problem parents have, that if you study, children would do art, they would not study. So they put study and art on two different planets, and which is uh, and it will only make the child an artist and not a doctor or engineer or pilot, which every parent wants their child to be. Now, I would like to tell that there is no connection between a child drawing during the childhood and his becoming an artist. These are absolutely two different things. But somehow, artist is also a good profession, as ma'am has just told. Uh, but let us see, art has many developmental and well-being benefits for child. And before studying that, before discussing that, let us go and see the human brain. Let us see how the human brain is. All of you are well aware that human brain has got two parts, left brain and right brain. Right brain is all about art and creativity and music and dance and colors and everything. Whereas left brain is like all the rational things, all the mathematics, science, technology, English, they all go into that. Now, see, these two brains behave differently. And unfortunately, if the child is not given good, good input of right brain in the during the developmental years, the child would have a unbalanced development. So with all these science and technology inputs which we are giving to the uh, left brain, we are sending him to maths class and science class and everything, and we are not, if we don't equally give art education, there would be a disbalance in brain development. Dear educators and parents, what I was saying is that the left brain and right brain behaves differently. And if we only give too much of impetus to left brain, the imbalanced development of the child happens. And because of that, the child thinks in terms of black and white. And what is black and white is that if you pass IIT JEE, you are a hero. If you don't pass, you are a zero. Now that makes the child very, very weak, imbalanced, and it may even be suicidal. On the other hand, if the child keeps on practicing art and other things, the child would think that he is good. He is, may not be good at mathematics, but he is so good at playing guitar. So it is a big, big thing for the tomorrow child. Can we have the next slide, please? There are many other benefits, which the art gives to the child, and these benefits are huge. No, we have jumped one, I think. We should go to the previous one. Yeah. The art helps the child by balancing the personality, which is the biggest thing we can, a parent and educator can hope. It helps the child by, motor skills, increasing motor skills, increasing concentration, increasing creativity, innovations, all that. And all that would lead the child to become a very successful person in life. His today would be good because all the stress and tension which we know that the COVID is causing would be controlled, and at the same time child would be able to do a lot of good work in future, because creativity and innovation would be required in every field, not only in art. If you remember, all the educators would know that 65% of the children which are in school today would go on to do some job which we still don't know. So you need the creativity a lot, and I think art is the perfect thing for that. So I would request all the parents, congratulate them, congratulate the winners, and I would also request them to keep practicing art. Compliments Brainfield for such a nice program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was such a great presentation. Now I request Mallikarjun sir to share his views on how apps are slowly taking over sketchbooks.
Thank you, Spandana. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
And all the stalwarts of the scholastic field. And I wish a huge congratulations to all the winners today. Not only winners, those who have participated also are going to be the future creators. Because once a child is getting an idea to participate in a competition like Picasso Award, the name itself is, it gives a goosebumps to the people, those who know the worth of a name. So a child or his or her teacher or his or her parents, those who encourage them are really appreciable today.
மூட்னா அந்த மேல கிராஸ் போடுறதா?
Sir, you have to unmute yourself again.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. So these today's winners are really, I can see them as creators in the future, along with the winners, all the participants also. I congratulate all of them equally, maybe a little bit more to the winners. And today, my question is a very, very tricky question. That is, are really apps slowly taking over the drawing sketchbooks, drawing sketchbooks? It's a really tricky and a timely question. I appreciate questions, Spandana. And actually, according to me, as a expert, I strongly believe that your hand is not drawing anything. Your brain that is drawing on a piece of paper. Your app is just a tool. Your pen is a tool. Your paper is a tool. And your app is another tool. Before the paper was invented, before these writing instruments were invented, there was no medium. People were using some sticks. They were doing some drawings, some lines, some crossing on a walls, and slowly the medium has changed. So from there to today, maybe around 30-40 years ago, we were using papers, drawing papers, sketch pens, and sketchbooks, all these things. And today, maybe the technical advancements, we have a very, very beautiful apps also. I really appreciate few of them really, really very good. And few apps are giving good idea, encouragement, and creative thoughts also to the children. No doubt about that. But here, the point is, when a brain is drawing something on a piece of paper, if it is not your pen, if it is not your stylus, or maybe some other, maybe I can say Apple pen or some other device, it's all yours. Your stylus is very useful to you only when you have a thought, only when you conceive a concept. See, most of the times, it's not the beauty of the diagram, it's the beauty of the thoughts a person is conceiving. So once a thought is conceived, a material, a platform is secondary, I strongly believe. Sometimes you do it on a piece of paper, and some class is going on. I just turn the last page of my notebook, maybe some physics or English class is going on. I doodle something, and from the doodle also I create a picture, and even there I can make a magic. So today, an app is another medium for me. And there are certain apps which will ask, you make a circle, it will ask you to fill. Just pick up your favorite color, just put a dot over there, and everything is filled over there. And that maza, you will not get it when you draw it with your hand. When you take your favorite color, crayon or a sketch pen or a fountain pen, you will not get that feel. And when you have a stylus, today, for most of the instruments, you have a stylus. My instrument also has got a stylus. And sometimes, I see there are certain pens which are coming with a stylus kind of thing. You can operate these things with a, for a mobile phone. So app is really good, but I don't think they're taking over the drawing sketchbooks. They're definitely not taking over the drawing sketchbooks. They're not taking. And what's happening is they're adding a platform to the people, those who want to do it, those who want to learn, those who want to develop, want to create little more, little extra. Maybe for the publicizing your medium, your apps will help you a lot. Digitizing will definitely help you a lot. But basically, one has to start with a pencil. I don't think there can be a better instrument than this on this beautiful planet Earth. This can be the most powerful instrument. And from there, we emerged an instrument called fountain pen. And when you're making a stroke, maybe for the drawing or something, if you're making a stroke, you create a beautiful music kind of thing over there. And then maybe you can go to your electronic device, you can use any app. That's my idea. And sometimes, your creativity is reduced when you keep on using apps. Maybe for around 3 to 4 years, I was drawing on sketchbooks, and suddenly I have moved over to the apps. Your creativity is moving down, coming down a bit, because you're not adding special color, you're not mixing separate colors. Your app is doing it, your software is doing it for you. So when you're doing it manually, you feel it. When you feel it, whether it's right or wrong, you learn. Sometimes you do certain things, you're great. Sometimes you don't do certain things, you will become greater also. So you learn so many things when you're doing manually. Apps can be definitely used only to create a little extra mile to what you are already doing. But basically, all the drawing teachers, I myself, I can take a name called Mr. Nageswar Rao, who was a drawing teacher to me. I can definitely take out his name today. He's one of the responsible people for my profession today. Today, as a busy handwriting expert, I still remember him just because he was making a zero on a board. And from that zero, he used to make a bird. And we used to open the eyes very big. And we used to say, wow, a circle has become a big bird kind of thing. I think, those teachers have generated a seed, germed a seed in the brains of the people of today's winners. I definitely, I strongly believe that. I appreciate all those teachers and parents, those who encouraged today's winners, and all the participants also. This is like, two sides of the coin. One side is your paper, another side is your app. So make use of both of them. Both are very good. But to me, paper is first, pencil is first. Paper pencil is first, paper brush is first, then go to the app. Utilize your apps. Add, it's only added thing. You can use app as add. APP is app. You can use it as ADD. You can add app to your creativity. Thank you, Spandana.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an impressive message.